Hello and welcome back to Ace Academy. I decided to sneak in a little episode because today is the 19th when I am recording this, and I don't have one for tomorrow. And so tomorrow you can expect an episode of Ace, or, well, you'll be seeing this on the 20th presumably, so today is an episode of Ace, and tomorrow you can get the next episode of Jade, which is already recorded. I turn off my alarm and stretch. Then let out a groan. Yesterday was a really intense day, and I'm currently feeling it now. At least it's Friday. Yeah, oh boy. Yesterday we had the match with Onabugiyesha, and Kaori fell to pieces. But everything seems to be going better. And I think Kaori and Mei, maybe, might patch things up. With a regretful sigh, I roll out of bed and prepare for my classes. I wonder how Kaori is today. I'm about to text her when I hesitate. I don't want to seem overbearing. Kaori needs some space to process everything that happened yesterday. I'm confident she'll find me when she's ready. I grab a quick breakfast and drive to school. I wonder if that's different if you didn't take the emotional trait. If you do text her. I don't know. Yuuna is waiting for me in class and smiles broadly when I sit down next to her. Hi, Yuuna.
Hey! Sorry we haven't had a chance to catch up. How did your meeting go with Yuri?
It wasn't as bad as I anticipated, even though he asked a lot of questions.
About Eagle?
No, he was interested in my team back at CINY. She blinks in genuine surprise.
Oh, I was under the impression he was curious about Eagle.
It's okay, I didn't mind. Clearly he did his homework about how teams are run in the States because he didn't seem surprised by anything I shared. Yuuna nods.
There's a reason why he's the youngest account manager to manage a team at Dashu.
Have you talked with him yet?
Yes. He said that you show a lot of promise, and he's confident that if the rest of your teammates are as determined as you are, then you'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with.
That's it? She furrows her brow in concern.
Yeah. Should he have said anything else?
I guess he was serious when I said I should talk to her about her brother. Actually, maybe now isn't the right time to bring up this conversation. I'm going to click on Let's Talk About It Later. So, it's time I asked. We'll get you more dialogue. But the thing is, I'm just trying to show off Kaori because I want people to buy the game. And so if you want to know, buy it. I'm sure there are other people on YouTube you could watch, but this is a good game, and I think you'd really enjoy it. All of you. Like, the story's well written. I like the characters. I like the characters' interactions with each other. None of the romances that I did felt forced. It's got big anime titties, you know? There's something for everyone. Let's talk about it later. Bombarding her right before class begins doesn't seem like very smart timing. The professor will get here and start class before we really have a chance to talk, and Yuuna will probably spend all of class stressing out about this. Yeah, how he's clearly into me. I mean, he was asking me a lot of questions.
Is that bad?
No, but clearly he was trying to get to know me pretty well.
I don't understand. Wasn't that the point of meeting you?
Yuuna. I sigh. Yes, it was. The professor enters the room and gets settled.
Good morning, everyone. Please open your textbooks to page 81. Your assignments are on the web link. Have a great day.
You and I pack up our things and walk out of class together. Do you have another class to get to?
No, but I have to meet my physiotherapy professor. I'm a TA for his class.
I didn't know you were a TA.
Yep. I don't usually help out in his Friday classes, but he's holding exams today, so I need to be there. Do you have any other classes?
Nah, but I'm kinda hungry. I'll grab lunch in the pilot's lounge. Her face lights up.
Oh, you're lucky. They're supposed to have really good food.
They do, and they have options from other countries. I had a cheeseburger once from there. Yuuna's eyes grow wide.
I love cheeseburgers.
Doesn't the dining hall serve them too? She wrinkles her nose.
I don't think what they serve in the dining hall can even be considered food.
Where do you eat lunch?
The hot dog cart.
Oh yeah, I forgot we had a hot dog stand. I didn't know anyone actually ate there.
You should try it. They're so good.
You really like American food, don't you?
Yes.
Yuuna checks the time.
Oops, I'm going to be late. I'll see you later.
Bye. I wave as she dashes off. Alone, I make my way to the pilot's lounge. I check out the menu on display in the lounge. There's the usual Japanese fare that I can find in the dining hall too. Today's special is Napolitan spaghetti, popularly known as ketchup spaghetti. The bartender approaches me and waits expectantly. When in Rome, or I guess in this case, when in Japan, one Napoleon spaghetti, please. The bartender nods. He brings me my order and I take it to an empty table. As soon as I sit down, someone slides into the seat across from me. I'm ready to apologize and ask if the table is taken when I take a good look at the girl smiling at me. Mei?
Is this seat taken?
No, not at all. You can sit.
Thanks.
This is a little uncomfortable after what happened yesterday. I think she feels it too.
So, how's Kaori?
She'll be okay. Mei nods.
I thought so. I haven't seen her that upset since...
She hesitates. Since Ryota? Mei blinks, but seems relieved.
Oh, Kaori told you about Ryota?
Something like that.
Did she say it was all my fault?
It was certainly implied. Mei sighs.
I wish I'd never said anything.
I blink. Mei doesn't strike me as someone who has many regrets. She's always cheerful and seems to take whatever life throws at her in stride. I believe that you meant well.
Thanks. If only Kaori could see that. I wasn't trying to ruin her friendship with Ryota, or my friendship with her. They would have been so cute together. You know, if Ryota hadn't been such a jerk. And how awesome would it have been if my two friends ended up together?
Sounds like you were excited for her.
I was! Even back then, Kaori was more reserved around people. She didn't like to show her feelings. So I was so excited when she told me she liked Ryota.
If he was such a jerk, why were you friends with him?
He wasn't always like that. Honestly, I don't know why he exploded the way he did. We used to do everything together. His family even took us on their vacations. I knew him back in elementary school when he still had huge glasses and would tell goofy jokes that were too smart to be funny. Kids used to pick on him a lot. So we entered middle school and he worked hard to change his image. He lost the glasses and became more serious. The more I think about it, the more I think he stuck with us out of obligation, rather than true feeling. We were his only friends for a long time, until he hit his growth spurt. Then all the girls were suddenly interested.
Mei looks thoughtful.
Actually, I think it was when the other girls started to notice him that Kaori liked him too.
Do you still keep in touch with him?
Of course not.
She hits the table for emphasis.
I told him all that stuff in confidence, thinking maybe it would give him a push to make a move. Well, he made a move, all right. He went out of his way to hurt Kaori. What kind of friend is that? That's not a person I want to associate with. It's just
Hell
frustrating
yeah.
that Kaori would lump me into the same category as him.
This explains so much. Thank you, Mei.
Huh? For what?
I finally understand why Kaori acts so Kaori-like. Mei's eyes widen.
You think I turned her into that?
It makes sense. She's withdrawn, quick to make judgments, stubborn. Mei laughs.
She's sort of always been like that, I
Oh.
think. She's always been stubborn, at least.
If it's been so long, why do you still try so hard with her? Mei looks at me as if I've sprouted a third arm.
She's my friend. I left her alone for a while so she could cool off. And I admit, I was angry at her for a long time, too. But then I saw her withdraw completely. No one should be alone. I know she hasn't forgiven me yet, but she will.
How can you be so sure?
It might take her a little longer, but in the end, Kaori always sees reason.
Mei is completely confident that Kaori will forgive her. That must be how she can still act so familiarly with her, even though Kaori doesn't reciprocate those feelings. I have to admit, I kind of admire Mei for that.
Anyway, since I really didn't get the chance to say it yesterday, congrats on your win.
I blink. Oh, thanks.
But don't get used to it. Ana Bugeisha has a lot of practicing to do.
That's how it's
It won't be
pronounced.
that easy the next time we battle.
Ana Bugeisha.
But don't get used to it. Ana Bugeisha has a lot
Ana
of practicing to
Bugeisha.
do.
Okay.
It won't be that
I've
easy
been pronouncing
the
it
next time
Ona
we battle.
Bugeisha. Ana Bugeisha. Ana Bugeisha. You can train, but we'll be training just as hard. The outcome will be the same. Mei grins.
We'll see.
From the corner of my eye, I spot Kaori and Sho enter the pilot's lounge. Sho's still alive and in one piece. They must have worked things out with each other. That's a relief. Kaori searches the room and briefly makes eye contact with me before glancing away. Then, to my surprise, she walks over to us. Sho follows. Mei is just as surprised when Kaori and Sho sit with us.
What's going on, Broseph?
Nothing much. Where's Mayu?
Class.
I look over at Kaori. Hey, Kaori.
Hi.
She looks sideways at Mei.
Hi, Mei.
Mei doesn't react right away. Then squeals in delight and throws her arms around Kaori.
Hi! Mei! Stop it!
Kaori pulls away in a huff while Mei laughs. The four of us continue to chat together. The tensions felt from yesterday are completely gone, as if the day never happened. Mei even got Kaori to laugh. Eventually, we all go our separate ways as everyone heads to their class or other obligations. I still have some free time. Mayu or Yuuna? Mayu or Yuuna? Let's do Yuuna. I was browsing a list of clubs and classes earlier, and Ace offers a cooking club. I remember Nikki mocking me, saying I should join when she first started her club, but maybe that isn't such a bad idea. I need a pen and paper. Good. Okay. The look on her face would be priceless if I offered to cook and it was edible. I'll go check it out. The cooking class is held in the culinary building. I enter a classroom filled with multiple cooking stations already set up with ingredients. It kind of reminds me of a chemistry lab, but with stoves and ovens. This event is awesome. Like, I'm pretty sure the Mayu one is cool too, but this one is awesome. In the corner of the room, I spot Yuuna and claim the station beside her. Hey, Yuuna. She blinks in surprise.
Oh, hey! Are you part of the cooking club?
No, I'm just dropping in today.
Me too. What brings you here?
I'd like to make a meal for Nikki.
That's really nice of you. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
I hope so. She's a whiz in the kitchen. What about you? What brings you here?
Since I quit the SBA, I've got a lot of extra time, so I've been trying out some of the other clubs Ace offers.
When did you quit the SBA?
Right around when I got Dachu as your sponsor.
Her voice holds the edge of finality. It's clear she doesn't want to talk about this further. Anything catch your interest?
A couple, but I'm still weighing my options. Besides, it's fun trying new things.
The student instructor arrives and everyone breaks away from their conversations to stand at their stations.
Welcome, everyone!
He goes into a short message explaining who he is and the rules and structure of the club.
Now that that's out of the way, today we will be learning how to make kasutera. If you haven't already done so, please put on your aprons.
I slip off my blazer and tie the apron around my waist.
First, we will preheat the oven to 160 degrees. And don't forget to line your pan with parchment paper.
Alright. Isn't that a little low? Oh, right, it's in Celsius.
For our dry ingredients, we will have 1 cup and 2.5 tablespoons of bread flour and 1 cup of sugar. The wet ingredients will have 6 eggs and 5 tablespoons of honey diluted with 2.5 tablespoons of water.
In case you didn't notice, I am writing this down because I have never done this event successfully. 1 cup, 2.5 tablespoons of bread flour. 1 cup sugar, 6 eggs, 5 tablespoons of honey, 5 tablespoons of honey, 2.5 tablespoons of water. TBSP water. Alright. Let's see what happens if this event is actually done right, because I've never done it right. At least there aren't that many ingredients. As instructed, I measure out the ingredients. Wait, I forgot to preheat the oven. What temperature should it be? 160. I preheat the oven to 160 degrees. The instructor continues to provide instructions, and I follow as best I can. While whisking the eggs, my gaze wanders over to Yuuna. She's carefully pouring flour into her measuring cup and leveling it off before dumping it into the bowl. Her tongue sticks out slightly as she concentrates. I try to hold back a chuckle when she glances at me. There's a smudge of flour on her cheek, and I can't hold back my smile. She matches my grin before turning back to her ingredients. I refocus on my own station and add the sugar. The only thing left to do is add the honey. How much water do I use to dilute the honey? 2.5 tablespoons. I add 2.5 tablespoons of water.
Once you add the last of your flour, mix the ingredients until combined. Be careful not to overmix. Pour the batter into your pan and let it bake for 35 minutes.
As instructed, I add the last of my flour to the mixture and continue to mix it. What counts as overmixing anyway? How do I know if I've mixed just the right amount or too much? Using my wooden spoon, I poke around to see if there are any flour chunks still left. Nope. I guess that means my batter is ready to go in the oven. I set the timer for 35 minutes. 35 minutes. Now, just to wait and see. Alright. I think this is the first time I've ever done this event right. Once my timer dings, I carefully remove the cake from the pan. It baked unevenly, so some of the side is spilling over the pan. I think it might be a little darker on one side too. Does that mean it's burned? I guess only one way to find out. I pry it out of the pan and put it on my plate. Some of the edges got stuck to the parchment paper when I removed it, so there are patches of yellow exposed under the darkish brown layer. Yuuna carefully sets her cake on her plate. It's a perfect loaf with a golden brown top and light yellow sides. She glances over at my cake and hides her smile with a cough. The instructor begins his taste test. Hold on, I've gotten it exactly like this, but I did it right! No! Taste test in my row at the back of the classroom. He reaches me before Yuuna.
It didn't quite come out the way you expected, did it? But let's see how it tastes.
He puts a forkful of cake in his mouth. His eyes light up in a smile!
This is absolutely delightful!
Yay! I'm so happy! Really?
Let me try.
Yuuna stands right beside me, staring curiously at my cake. She tries a small piece.
Oh, wow! This is so good!
I beam. Nikki's going to be surprised. Yes! The instructor stops at Yuuna's station next.
This is a beautiful cake. I can't wait to see how it tastes.
Yuuna's face lights up in anticipation as the instructor takes a bite. He pauses, straining to keep his face calm, then gulps heavily.
How is it?
His voice trembles with hope. The instructor's voice is hoarse as he chokes out his next words.
Practice makes perfect.
What?
Let me try. I take a bite.
How is it?
It's like if sugar and plaster had a baby together and let it sit out in the sun until every drop of moisture was baked out of it. Practice makes perfect.
Again? Can it really be so bad?
Yuuna grabs her fork and stuffs a piece in her mouth. She grimaces, then sighs deeply.
Practice does make perfect.
The instructor moves on to another station while Yuuna pouts at her rejected cake. Well, aside from the result of your baking, what did you think of this class?
It was fun, but surprisingly challenging.
She glances at her cake again and mutters under her breath.
Where did I go wrong?
You going to stick with this as your new extracurricular activity?
I don't know. I want to keep checking out other clubs.
Makes sense.
It looks like other students are trying each other's cakes. You want to try some?
Sure. Yuuna and I walk around the room and try some of the other cakes with varying results. Once we tasted all of them, we head out. My phone rings unexpectedly. It's Valerie. Hello?
I've got a surprise for you. Come to the hangar.
What is... She hung up. Of course she hung up. I guess I'd better go see what's up. And that's where I'll leave you off for now. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time on Let's Play Ace Academy. Have a good day. Boop.